In my last few SOFI videos, I have given you so many different reasons as to why this stock doesn't have what it takes to go higher. The fundamentals are doing amazing, the company is growing, but technically the chart does not seem like it is ready to break a leg higher. And after today's really good earnings, you can see that the stock is still going lower. We gapped down in the pre-market and we opened around $15 area. So I thought that if the dynamics of the charts are changing, we got this new weekly candle printing, I think it's a good time to create another video. Let's talk about where we were. Let's also talk about where we are today and where the stock is headed in the next few months. Because if I enter SoFi, I want it to be an 80 to 120% trade, and those trades just don't appear on weekly or monthly basis. You need to be extremely patient, and if you struggle with finding setups like these, if you struggle with FOMO and you enter too early, I will help you with that on my YouTube channel, but I'm also putting together a community, so feel free to check out the registration link in the description below. With that said, let's get started. You can clearly see I have this supply zone on this chart where I do not believe that we can just break out above 23-24 that easily. I have also drawn these two consolidation phases where I believe we have created a pretty good bottom. There's a very low chance that we break down to a point where we revisit all of these prices all over again. Now, I'm not a fan of saying that it can never happen, but looking at the consolidation period, looking at how long it took, you can also revisit my old videos to see the more detailed breakdown of that. I truly believe, and I'm building this thesis, that we have bottomed out here. We've had this euphoric move, and now we are coming back to retest a key zone so we can find enough buyers to reverse back up to the upside. If we look at the Fibonacci levels here, you can see that from this previous move, we are almost down a little under 61.8 fib level, and we are headed towards 78.6, which will put us a little under $14. And I personally would like to accumulate SoFi between $12 to $14. I mean, a great entry for me would be at $13 price point. This way we can tap into this small consolidation that we were building a few months ago. Let's zoom in a little bit over here. You can tell that before we broke out, we were building this little weekly consolidation, and we never saw a proper pullback lower before breaking out higher. This was momentum building up, and I do like to see these types of zones get tapped into once we are out of that euphoric move and we are retesting some older levels. So $13 puts me at a great place where my downside is very minimum, and if we can tap into those zones, I believe that we will reverse instantly off of that level. And after that, my plan is to not hold it for too long. I do want to see us go towards $24 to $25, and I will most likely be exiting my position at about 80% gain and whatnot. The downside, I'm looking at maybe 10, 15, 20% drawdown, and that is only if we go that low. Now, there's a huge dark cloud that is looming ahead, which could push us into the zone, and that is the interest rate hikes. The only thing you need to understand is that rate hikes, bad for SoFi. Rate cuts, great for SoFi. In my previous video, I also mentioned that a lot of people are talking about this double bottom that is forming around $15 area, and I do not believe that we will hold this level. And today, by the way, this wick is a misprint on my platform. I'm trying to reduce it to a smaller size where it's supposed to be at $14.88, I think. But so ignore this wick for me. So for the next step, the path forward could be that we consolidate here and go lower and finally break below this bottom, or we print a triple bottom here, reverse back up somehow, and then eventually come down and break to the downside. Now, the double bottom, I truly believe that we will not hold. And if we create this triple bottom, my conviction that we go lower goes even higher. Now, we do have a FOMC meeting today where we are expecting a little bit of a chance of a rate hike, and most likely there will be no rate hike. So there's a chance that we just bounce off of it on good news that there was no rate hike, and everybody just celebrates all over again. But we do have an FOMC a few months from now. So if inflation stays persistent, if the job market is doing just fine, most likely we could get a rate hike down the road, which could also align with the midterm volatility. So all the stars are aligning for us to get that midterm volatility of about 10 to 20% pullback on SPY and QQQ indices. And you might say, well, why can't we just scale into these prices here, and if it goes lower, we add more? I just want to say that that's not what my channel is all about. I'm looking for precise entry zones. I do not like to sit in pullback and drawdowns. I like to see instant reversals from the zones. 60 to 70% of my year is just sitting on cash and waiting for these perfect setups. And I truly believe we will get this opportunity by September, October time. And I will keep you posted on SOFI and any other stock that I might see fit for our setups. So with that being said, let's stay patient. Let's stay a little bit cash heavy. So when we do see that midterm volatility come in, we can have some money to deploy and we can enjoy the reverses back to the highs and pay some good amount of taxes for 2026. I hope you liked the video. Hope this provided you with some value. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching.